towards the game very, very soon here. We catch a glimpse on how GPX is going to be looking as well. Seems like all very, very comfy. And this kind of reminds me of the blanket buff from LY4 representing from Singapore. And it has helped him in multiple years during COVID times as well. Hopefully it is going to be enough to help GPX in this particular scenario, because this time they are going for the second phase of the pick and ban. So they are going to be red side, whereas MHRLK going to be on the blue side.
They played out the Link, they played out against the Glue as well as the Fedrin jungle. Is really much for help for side of MHRLK. They doesn't want the Kadita to be played by GPX, doesn't want to give for Kribo. But they had a lot more in terms of Joy has been taken up for GPX, still has the 1-1 and the Brody be open up for the side of either way GPX or MHRLK.
Yeah, one-shot potential coming from MHRLK is really, really smart as well, especially when the current meta in terms of tank composition has been leaning more on towards Dominance Eyes or even Dreadnought Armor as a first item priority. Going for early's Antenna Shields or Radiant Armor is a little bit more expensive compared to those items. So jeopardizing those items and allowing some other physical heroes or fighters here to actually do more damage is not just worth the tryst. And in this case, as well, the potential roaming capabilities of what a Kadita can bring to the table can threaten your position and, in this case, map space across the entirety of the game. So I guess MHRLK, they don't really want to play around a map control. They don't want to give away too much map control in this peculiar situation. So we might see a potential split push composition from MHRLK, but both sides, once again, ignoring the Fanny, might be seeing it, might not. But Mortis still in the pool, Glue also in the pool as well. So MHRLK, Mage or Glue first.
The outlet is open though for the side of MHRLK.
Exactly. It's going to be a little bit of a problem as well.
Yeah.
So what is going to be the safety net? It seems like MHRLK, they are leaning on towards the R-Lot for now. But most likely it is going to be the Glue first. Most likely.
Yeah, in terms of how the goal lane matchup here, Ziri versus CJ123, in terms of how we already see the 1-1 being banned, which is we had the Claude and as well as the Brody to be played around here for both teams. And we see how Ray itself said that Ziri is something kind of not on par with the team itself. So it's going to be... the Grok
I like this. I like this approach. Let them choose and then we pick whatever is left in S tier picks here, considering there's so many off the grab. But what this pick helps MHRLK even better is that it keeps options open for GPX, because if you think about it, this might be an XP Grok, it might be a gold lane Grok, it might also be a roaming Grok. But the possibility of it to be a gold lane is a bit lacking here. Is either roam or XP, but the initial burst of what Grok brings to the table in the XP lane in early stage game can be a little bit too much to be handled here. Faramis also slid off to the pool as well. GPX secures the Faramis and the Glue, two very, very annoying hard lockdown pullback heroes to actually isolate and trap an opponent. Grok completely defeats this composition if you time those passive ability available. MHRLK going for the Eve as well to slow down the movements during the Cult Altar. Yeah,
you have... MHRLK is really smart, man, because they had the defense coming in for Grok. They have the command coming in for the Eve as well. So in terms of defense, MHRLK has a lot to give. Depends on how GPX want to play it, because they have the burst damage coming in for Farmis as well as the sustain for the Glue. But they have to commit once they go for a team fight. And in terms of damage, yes, MHRLK has been cool with the Martis pick here. So we're going to see Martis onto the jungle and GPX. One open here. Fredin is not an option anymore. Maybe the Fanny, if you want to go for the Fanny, it's going to be really hard here if the Grok as well as the Martis. So it's going to be something like GPX want to bring some burst damage here, just shut down the Eve, instead trying to play around with the Grok.
Ooh, this is going to be a little bit of a weird spot to be in here, especially when now GPX, they have to respond with either a mirror matchup or a jungler. But so far, Moskov has been a big priority in terms of marksman department. But do they want to keep things open? Because as of yet, if they give the Melissa to MHRLK, there is going to be another solution to deal with the Cult Altar. So do they deny it? But it seems like that's not going to be the case. It's been a while. We saw a Cho, but GPX says we are bringing in the tank Cho for GPX Esports to isolate the fight. And now with the Way of the Dragon coming in, it seems like he is going to be thinking about making space to secure the jungle objectives for the Martyrs, but
Yeah.
the Ashura coming in is not going to be a big threat as well. The revolution can't really be cancelled with the Way of the Dragon. The passives coming from Grok, if you time it really well, the kick doesn't really matter that much. So I assume that this might be an XP Cho instead, but
Romo Blue?
I don't know. I don't really like the Roman Cho here from GPX, so it's a little bit curious. I'm a little bit weirded out by this, but okay. Teresa being banned makes a lot of sense, so they're anticipating that MHRLK is going for a Roman Grok instead.
Yeah, I think for the Cho onto the... Maybe they want to flex away here with Glue as well as Farmis, but in terms of MHRLK, I think MHRLK has some sort of composition that is trying to prepare for the team fight, and the Chow pick coming in for GPX is trying to deny that if opens his ultimate, he just want to kick away if away. But in terms of how team fight will be taken by GPX, is not good as well as MHRLK lineup currently. So if they cannot shut down the production of the Martyrs, it's going to be really hard for that Farmis to just farm in the mid lane, maybe in the team fight as well.
Now this smart coming from GPX as well. They ban off the Harif. Harif is a great way to deal with the AoEs here. You form the Count Altar to actually get value across of it as well. So MHRLK, they are gonna try and ban off another marksman. In this case, do they want to ban the Brody or the Moscow, potentially picking up for themselves? One of the very few marksmen left that actually deal with the Count Altar alongside the Melissa. So they are taking some time to consider this, but it seems like they are gonna ban their carry. Most likely, they are gonna double down on a potential triple tank composition for MHRLK Esports, so that is going to buy a little bit more time for them. But GPX, they're bringing in the Lancelot finally. I've been talking about this as well. First time pick, one time pick this throughout this entire playoff so far. We are going to see a tank Lancelot coming from GPX Esports. Please be a tank Lancelot. Please be a tank Esports. It's just so annoying to deal with. And currently, Beatrix will be secure from MHRLK Esports, another alternative that completely shreds through the Count Altar.
Yeah, I think a tank Lancelot could work for the side of GPX because of how he needs to go onto the back line for MHRLK, because of how the Martis is not going to just care about the back line for the Beatrix, maybe on the Eve as well. So if MHRLK not going to just shut down this tank Lancelot, it's going to be really hard for the side of MHRLK, because they pick out the Lapu Lapu on the last pick. Lapu Lapu is a one attack kind of composition. You just go in and it's hard to go back for the side of team fight for the side of Lapu Lapu. MHRLK just go, no holding down punches, but GPX, one more hero. Who could it be?
Yeah, marksman coming in. Great alternative here is going to be Moskov, the mirror of the Beatrix as well. Clint is pretty decent. Any marksman is going to be a pretty decent composition with GPX, but mobility is going to be the key. Seems like it is going to be 8 times picked, but with a 25% win rate. Claude with the 8 OE controls and mobility. Pretty much a very mobile composition from GPX. They are looking for split fights, while MHRLK Esports is looking for the big wombo combo. Isolation is key for GPX. MHRLK, dedication is key. And this is going to be a very committed comp, two very, very clear objectives on how they want to play the composition. But seems like GPX Esports has more room to work with in terms of planning, in terms of how they want to take their approach in this game. So I'm looking forward to see how the best of the best from both regions here, representing from the Philippines, MHRLK Esports, going up against Indonesia. They represent GPX Esports in this upcoming game for the upper brackets.
It's going to be really, really good gameplay here for the both of this team. But in terms of how MHRLK lineup is, they ban a lot of burst damage in terms of the carry, the Fadrin as well. But how GPX want to cope with the last pick, and as well as the tank Lancelot. With the first pick, Grok coming in from MHRLK, they need to show something here, because that pick is going to make some dizziness coming in for GPX.
Oh, this is going to be a very difficult one. We do have head-to-head. We did see why Whistles what carry as well as Leslie coming in from GPX means there is a lot of true damage potential coming from him, but it seems like they are not going to be able to pick this up. So there is going to be a little bit of difference in terms of approach, but it seems like they do understand each other's comfort heroes. Claude being forced to be picked from side GPX. Meanwhile, we do see a little bit more aggression coming in. We can see even
Oh,
Grok as well.
too far.
Coming from MHRLK, he's pretty much isolated, but the flicker will save his life. So there is going to be a lot of pressure being taken away.
You see a lot of how the supports play just want to prioritize mid vision coming in for this kind of matchup. I just love how intense it is coming in for Inax. Just trying to push away the jungle side of GPX, trying to force it down to just give a couple more damage because we know how damaging early game Grok is. Trying to slow down the GPX jungle rate because we know how Lancelot level 4 is just kind of a monster in this kind of matchup. So MHRLK plays a little bit more aggressive onto the bottom side.
Oh, a lot of pressure down towards the gold lane. This is something GPX Esports loves to do. And MHRLK, they're able to react to this, but they don't seem to have the damage yet. So it is going to be cut down towards the first turtle first. 10 seconds left. Purple buff already weaned out GPX. Do they go for the turtle control? Or do they go for the buffs reset? But it seems like it is going to be turtle control first. Kelvin still has his purple buff yet. And looks like they are going to try and force the fight now.
It doesn't have the Matrix on their side here, but a couple more damage here. Coming from Freddy Kuti, trying to force away a couple more members from the side of MHRLK. All this has been taken away. Ray takes down Turtle first, but Health Leg break loose from the side of MHRLK. They try to push away the members of GPX, but a little bit too late.
Oh, the kick! The kick comes in. They do get the connection. Daizo will be forced to flicker out. Davex in a very awkward position to pull back with the Stampede, but they do lack damage still. A big clutch coming from GPX, securing the total for the team. However, they are still lacking in terms of damage coming from GPX. They cannot afford to commit to this fights yet, and MHRLK somehow still hanging on in all these trade-offs.
Yeah, much damage has been traded, but Calvin a little bit been spotted up by Fredo QT here. In terms of Inayak with a couple more rooms, trying to find a way. Where is the GPX members? Fredo QT has been spotted up, but none of the members of GPX. Only Creepo is just arrived on the scene of this crime. Daizo, he knows.
Yeah, he's getting so much information now here with the wave, the dragon. Daizo is going to be there, but it's an awkward angle as well. Kelvin's going to provide a little bit of assistance. The decimation comes in, and that is going to be first blood for MHRLK, while GPX cannot do anything about that, but instant reaction down bottom, but they can't seem to kill a Claude. Yes, so mobility is key, but Daizo, he will get trade off eventually with Ray coming to save the day for GPX. Bottom side, it is going to be an extended fight while he's trapped out. Here comes a Ribiru coming in, but eventually he's going to try to survive this. Kelvin waiting in the bush. He won't finish off the Claude, and that's a nice pick. And now the retaliation comes in. Fredo can't seem to get the Jin Kundo in, and that is going to be MHRLK getting away with murder.
MHRLK, when they go on the crime scene, they just left a lot of evidence, man. GPX, they crumble to the ground in this early game. They miss one by one. They try to find a way, try to find a kill, but end up they are being killed away from MHRLK.
Now Ray going to be thinking about stealing the jungle of Ruby, and that is going to be a huge steal away from this Martyrs, limiting the economy while he immediately reacts for the turtle for now. The Grok wall is already there to set up, but it seems like they are going to be forcing the fight again.
Yeah, Freddy Kuti on the backside to try to find a way with the kick with the dragon. But no, the tild's been taken away by Ray again. But the members of MHRLK trying to find the kill. Kelvin secures it onto Fredo, but the members of GPX trying to run away because of MHRLK. A little bit too much damage to be dealt with.
Oh, a little bit of mistake as well. The counter was just a fraction of a second late to try and prolong the fight for the Cho. Unfortunately, not going to be able to help Fredo at all. So MHRLK very happy with all this small pickoffs. But in terms of economy-wise, look at this. Wow, just getting the economy lead he needs as well. But let's take a look at the itemization real quick as well. It seems like Ray is going for a balanced build of as well. Seems like he's going for a Molten Essence and then transition for a War Axe instead of going full tank. So a hybrid tank Lancelot coming from GPX. I was expecting full tank, but hopefully it is going to work out. DHS already up on what for now, but it seems like it is going to be a stalemate where both teams looking to buy time for their marksman here. But MHRLK looking to get a little bit more aggressive, knowing that Beatrix can come up online a little bit earlier compared to a Claude.
Yeah, Claude, outside of GPX, a couple of the kicks comes in, but the Blades into it, trying to secure the first kill for them. But no, Kelvin is still alive, and Daizo secures on the Fredo QT. But MHRLK how the hell that they are still survive?
How the heck did Kelvin still survive here at the last tick? But now they are going to extend the fight. CY gets a
Still
big
alive.
snipe in on Faramis. They cannot extend this fight. That is going to be a lost tower for MHRLK. But GPX looks like they are going to go for a desperate attempt. Little did they know the glue does a lot of damage. And while this is happening as well, Ree also getting a very nice kill down middle, punishing the Yves all by himself. What a clutch of turn of events coming from both teams here.
A little bit of overconfidence coming in from MHRLK. They had that situation under control, but when they just forced up GPX with the glue on top side, they just gave one opportunity open for the side of GPX, and now they open for the turtle as well. A couple more damage for the QT. Cannot make the same mistake as well as the two turtle has been taken.
Oh, this is going to be a difficult one as well. Turtle control in MHRLK's favor. Fredo, he needs to get the big kick, but who's going to be the right target? But the snipe comes in, but it's going to be Lapu that still careers in. Now, with the revolution dropping down, he's still holding on the count out. Kribo not in position to provide the assistance, but MHRLK will finish off Fredo as GPX says, we are back the heck out of here, because this is just not worth it. And so far on the prediction stand, MHRLK with a 71% prediction from the audience themselves, and it seems like they are looking really, really strong as of yet.
Yeah, 71% coming in for the crowd itself. MHRLK with confidence gameplay, and GPX 0-4 for Fredo. That is a somewhat overwhelmed coming in for the GPX. They can defend, but their mistake itself trying to put MHRLK up front.
Kribo, he was hesitating to go for the pull as well, did not connect, so he's going to be able to get out to safety. Meanwhile, MHRLK also in position to try and challenge that as well. So GPX make the smart call as well, play it safe a little bit. However, map control wise, look at this. So much farm is being funneled towards CY, getting those farm. But this time, this Rock just getting map control, but not much is going to be happening very soon. But it seems like they are grouping up for the fight.
Yeah, they're going in for Fredo first because they know Fredo cannot play this game. A couple more retaliation coming in for the side of GPX onto the backside here. But not enough damage has been traded off for the GPX. I just love how NIX plays right now. Fredo cannot cope with the damage as well as the momentum that NIX bring.
Yep, CY as well, just being very annoying with snipes as well. He's trying to threaten some sort of a lethal coming in from GPX, and now with the golden stuff on Watt, it is going to be bringing a little bit more damage. Hopefully it is going to be able to enough, as he needs to build up more stacks now with the blazing duet potentially coming in. Nazo taking a little bit too much, threatened by Ray once again. MHRLK says it is going to be full resets, and top side Siri is going to be point of focus, but this is a glue. I don't think they have the damage to kill him at all, and look at this, barely tickling him down at all.
Yeah, they just want to just give a lot of hard time for the side of Siri to just push top side, because they want to focus onto the Lord on the bottom. But I just want to know how Fredo trying to play here, because a lot of the rotation coming in for Fredo is much more questionable for side of GPX. Because look at how Fredo, he's alone there.
Oh, the kick comes in, he catches on the wall charge as well. The wall charge not going to save it. Nice, will be the first to fall. They get the upper hand now. The glue is going to isolate Daiso from the back lines. He wants to pull the Eve in. It seems like he will do so, but do they connect? Yes, they do. Kribo comes in, but guess what? The choke spot with the Renero is not going to be able to finish bomb. The count ultra clutch will save GPX lives, and now MHRLK, they have to force a fight, but the damage has been done. The execution, the dives from GPX was spot on, but they are going to try and extend the fight. The glue coming in for the split as well. He wants to pull it back. The snipes from CY not going to connect from the sides, as GPX will zone them out for the Lord. They're regrouping for this fight. NIX with a small respawn time is going to try and threaten the Ziri, isolating it all, but it looks like it is not going to be a stalemate here as they wait for the opportunity. The wall charge comes in on Fredo. They take down Fredo. They shift their focus on the roamer, while GPX will steal the Lord away. And that is going to be MHRLK punishing the supports and only the supports. Watt, however, in a trouble. Blazing Duet preemptively will lose his life for it. They trade the jungler, but the tier 1 still stands. And GPX, do they want to commit? It seems like the damage has been done. Objective was key, but MHRLK choose the next biggest option, and which is killing the marksman.
GPX, the tunnel vision on the side of that Lord himself. They did not realize MHRLK is eating them alive onto the mid lane itself, leaving MHRLK an option to live with, and they just one by one been taken away for the side of MHRLK. The time that been played by MHRLK, they wait for Daiso to be alive and make the plays for themselves. GPX, they need to realize they are playing in the side of hands of MHRLK.
Oh, this is just insane work coming from MHRLK, but at the same time, GPX is doing what they can do best based on the composition. This is what they are designed for, and that is mobility. And catching off-angle pickoffs is exactly what Fredo is about to do. As you can see, Fredo once again looking for a potential mistake for MHRLK to go for the dive, and from the back lines as well, Ray also looking to threaten with this landslide. However, in an awkward position, he gets caught out. The wall charge comes in. The countouts are also committed to save his life, but the dive coming in from Zhao is going to buy him time. But Ray, he's going to be able to escape freely while the rest of the team is going to be looking for the punish. But Ziri, he will go in for the lash out to try and prolong this fight, but this glue is get completely isolated by MHRLK, and GPX has pretty much lost all steam to continue this fight.
GPX Ray, man, he's already on the backside of the side of MHRLK, but when the damage has connect, but the members on the side of GPX, it's a little bit too late. He knows they have Ziri on the backside, trying to force away with the damage the glue can give, but what? He doesn't have the Blazing Duet to just take the fight of 5v5. So GPX, their communication is not up to par with what MHRLK has been doing for this game.
Interesting enough, Ray actually going for a Thunder Belt. I was expecting him to go for maybe Twilight Armor, maybe for a Dreadnought Armor, something like the traditional tank playstyle. Seems like he wants to go for a little bit more mana regen as well as damage, so a little bit of balance of everything. Not the most traditional tanky items, but hopefully it is going to be enough, because as of yet, he's got 3 kills. He was able to set up for the team. Unfortunately, he cannot seem to be able to finish off. They just don't have the damage, but now Zayax in a very awkward spot is going to put him at a very, very slow speed for now. MHRLK just got his Radiant Armor on CJ. That means this Faramis is going to do even lesser damage now. Likewise can be said for the glue.
Yeah, the magic damage coming in for the side of GPX will not give a lot more hassle for the side of MHRLK. In terms of GPX, I just want to say that Ray has been doing a lot here. In terms of how the rotation for the GPX, they need to play a little bit more cautious, because they need to read what is MHRLK been doing. They are there, but a little bit off to the side of MHRLK. They need to go for this slot, but in terms of GPX, they know this is an opening for them. Do they want to go in?
It's going to be top 2. Bar comes in. Wall charge connects as well. They're going for the backline, but Fredo KD, he gets the kick on CY, but do they have the damage to kill the Beatrix? No, they cannot. He runs away for his dear life, but here comes the cleanup crew. Wall looking for the finish, but CY, he snipes him off. He takes him out, and GPX, they lose the core, but they still get the Lord, and MHRLK losing 3 in a trade-off, but now they will extend the fight. It's a 3v2. The Lord secured by MHRLK instead. They still hold on, and now CJ is gonna threaten the Faramis, flicker forwards as well. But on the side, CY, he gets the kill, but he's all by himself. But he's got the damage. He clutches it for MHRLK. A double kill for himself. This Beatrix from CY, an absolute chat.
Never counts out the damage coming in for CY. The Beatrix making the game for MHRLK. GPX has the damage, but doesn't have the brain to take down for Beatrix in this matchup. She's alive. Everybody in the fans of MHRLK is happy.
Oh my goodness, what an absolute performance from CY GPX. They've got to dive this, they've got to defend, the walls are stopping in, the inhibitors will fall. Fredo QT from the side of GPX looking for the snipes again, but he gets connected with the snipes from CY. He's dropping a little bit low. He needs to go for a reset. Blazing Duet not going to be committed yet, but MHRLK Esports tactically takes all the inhibitors. The Lord finally falls, but GPX, they cannot commit to this. MHRLK looking for the retreat. Ray. A little bit awkward to go in for the fight. Unfortunately, it is going to be disciplined plays coming from MHRLK as of yet. 5k advantage, and we are going to be seeing the reset for now.
MHRLK already have all the coupons here. They already have all the turrets being taken down from the side of GPX. GPX only have the crystal left. They need to find a way to make a last fight for the side of GPX.
Now pay attention to this play as well. The Fredo was going for the way of the Dragon Kid. They were shifting all their focus to CY, but CY was able to escape them and got a kill as well. Watt looking pretty strong, but double snipes from him is what won them the fight. So in this very, very crucial moment, MHRLK the whole sole reason why MHRLK was able to win this fight is not just because they stole the Lord, it's the clutch coming in from Marksman himself. So CY, what a flashy performance coming from him. 6-0-4 on this Beatrix as of yet.
Yeah, CY cooldown is no joke, man, because that is the damage coming in for the side of Beatrix itself. But I just love how, in terms of GPX, they make a play with the kick coming in for Chow, but in terms of how the location of that team fight is inside of Ultimate for Daiso. It's not a good location for the side of GPX. They need to find a way. If they cannot shut down CY, Daiso must be the victim for the side of GPX.
Yeah, but it's all about positioning, you know. But in this case, game sense-wise, coming from MHRLK, they are very, very much on par. But let's look at items as well. MHRLK seems like they are going to force a fight. The Wheel Dragon connects on JX, but it's only a Grok. He's going to try and flicker away. And now the glue is going to get connected as well. He's looking to latch onto his Beatrix. But fortunately for him, he is going to be able to get the reset. They dropped him down low, but do they still want to continue? They're not too strong about this. But Kribo! He goes for the flicker. He pulls CY. CY with the Winds of Nature will eventually get pulled back, and that's going to be MHRLK losing their core strike Marksman. Meanwhile, GPX, they have to think about their continuation because Daiso is kiting the land slot as long as he can, and Ray is out of position as well as MHRLK will completely shut down this land slot. The Immortality comes in. The Winter Drunken swaps as well to keep him alive. And Ray, he gets out alive, and MHRLK, they actually lose members for this as well. Picks them apart, and GPX turns the fight away and drags this out to tie this, even the scores here. And now the Lord is going to be up for grabs for GPX.
GPX proves me wrong, man, because they did not take down Daiso. They focus on CY because CY is the main problem for GPX. They got a lot. They need to level up their minions on the top side and the bottom side to just push 3 lane to the side of MHRLK, because how MHRLK take this team fight a little bit too not well, because how the damage coming in and the rotation coming from CY from that mid push is not a good location or the position for the side of MHRLK.
Oh, you have to give props towards Kribo for that initiation. That was a sick pull to set up for the team, and the moment they shut down Beatrix, all sorts of damage coming from MHRLK gets completely destroyed. And even this play as well, what a clutch coming from Ray, selling off his immortality, instantly swapping him with the Dragon, bought him enough time, and that's why tank Landslot in the current meta on jungle with fast fingers and adaptations just puts you on a very, very difficult target to actually execute. And MHRLK now, with the deficit coming in, it is going to be very, very difficult here. Moments before this next fight, Kribo for the opening.
Yeah, I think Fredo really needs to find a piece of ultimate to just find a way and one members of MHRLK. They force out onto the top side, mid lane with the Lord itself. Bottom side will fall down with a couple more damage, and the damage coming in for CY really needs to connect.
Kelvin. Dropping a bit too low, he's going to be forced to reset as well. Fredo looking for the kick again. He doesn't get the right target. He goes on the rope, but the WONG charge comes in. Connects the counter on the rule, keep him alive. The inhibitor still falls, but they still have the damage. And that's going to be the Martins going to be forced to bake off. And CJ completely goes for the reset. Lancelot looking to finish off CY, but Ray, he doesn't have his cooldown. He's getting kited as well. Here comes the speed buff as they focus him out. But guess what? The rest of GPX, they're looking to snipe the drone away. But that is a bad mistake. Communication on MHRLK is spot on, and they immediately take down the Roamer once again.
Adrenaline coming in for MHRLK. They know the brink of losing. MHRLK still lives on. GPX trying to bait up the members of MHRLK onto the bottom side with the death of Ray, but they said no, we are going to win this fight. Either way, one team fight could seal the deal.
Oh, Immortality's up on CY. He is going to be even harder to kill, and currently Ray doesn't have enough for his Immortality. He's got to win the Trunket, but it's still on cooldowns for now. Divine Glaive up on Kribo means he is going to be able to do a little more damage, but as of yet, GPX, they know they need to kill CY first. That's the biggest problem right now. If they cannot kill CY, it is going to be extremely difficult, but as soon as I say this, it seems like Ray, he actually sold off his Winter Trunket to get the Twilight Armor, so he has been swapping his final items multiple times here to depending on the situation, and that's some really, really fast fingers coming from Ray, and hopefully it is going to be able to prolong this fight because MHRLK, right now, they need to make sure that the CY doesn't get picked off at all.
Yeah, GPX has true problem right now because if they go for the CY, they need to focus on Kelvin as well as CJ onto the backside, try to kill away Watt. And what seems to be not having a good game, trying to run away with the full burst damage coming in from MHRLK. But GPX, I don't think they can sense danger here for the side of Lord.
Oh, this is going to be
They
tough.
cannot go in.
This is going to be tough. GPX, they don't have immortalities. MHRLK, they are just trying to force an issue right now. The minions are shoving away, but as of yet, it looks like they are thinking about going for the fight. He's down pretty low. Do they get the reset? But seems like they are going to be zoned out by Zyrie first on this glue. They are going to isolate here. Meanwhile, Kelvin is still on the Lord. They're split off. GPX says we are going to focus on the hero. Beatrix is nowhere to be found. Count Altar is there. They are going to try to force this Gummershy fight, and they're buying time, but eventually Kribu will be the first to fall from inside GPX. The Lord gets resetted, and MHRLK completely based GPX in this situation. They need to back out. The wall charge cuts the back line, but Ray, he's still buying time. What? Does he have the blazing duet? He's waiting for the moment! He drops it! He got the win of nature! And MHRLK, they're losing so much damage, but can they finish him off? Where's the decimation? The Chosen is going for a stun, but no, they can't finish him off. CJ will hold on and push them back with the minions coming in. GPX will say, let's play it safe. They've lost the jungler. Let's take the Lord instead, but with no retribution in play. Is this the wise call? It seems like MHRLK, they still have the Martyrs available. Look at this, they're buying time. Kelvin making his way through, but the Lord is only 80%. It's all about the base. And now, here comes the kick. They get the Martyrs. He's got the immortality. The count author is there, but where's the damage? They don't have the damage at all. What? Comes himself here, but he doesn't have the blazing duet. He doesn't have the health. And it looks like it is going to be the resets coming in from both sides.
GPX is playing on the deathbed right now because a little bit too much of the time playing coming in for GPX. They know they cannot take down the Lord because of the jungle for the side of MHRLK is still alive. They lost down Ray. They need Ray in that team fight. They need the distraction coming in for that tanky Lancelot to play on the back line for finding down CY because only Fredo is doing that job. And the members of GPX knows that they have the farming burst damage onto the late game as well as what with the blazing duet, but the position is really matters right now. MHRLK is on top of that game.
Oh, it's going to be very, very difficult as of yet. As you can see, MHRLK, they've got immortalities up. GPX finally gets the cooldown in, but as of yet, the Lancelot Ray needs to shove the top lane before they go in for the fight, and MHRLK is trying to bait them out of position with Kelvin threatening the Lord down bottom. They're slowly making a little play here, but little they know, they're afraid of a potential backdoor snipe. As you can see, minimap-wise, Ray is making the intention, and MHRLK is sending the Lapu to defend as well. Good call from MHRLK to wait this out. The Lord is down 23 minutes in the game. It's not going to be quickly done in so quickly. And it is going to be the resets coming once again. Divine Glaive coming from Daiso. Blade Armor on in a Yex. Not going to matter as both sides are full items. It all comes down to the macro aspect of the game.
Yeah, MHRLK, they didn't know what to do right now. Do they want to defend onto the backside? Here's Zyrie trying to find a way with a couple more damage.
The glue, they got CY. That's huge. And they take him down. Big catch with the glue. The count altar is going to prolong from GPX as they continue to extend fight. No CY, no problem. CJ not going to be able to respond, and the Lord immediately being focused down by GPX. CY 50 seconds on the sideline. What a catch from GPX.
They cash away CY on that team fight. MHRLK, they have two priorities right now. They need to defend a lot at that point, as well as the split push coming in for the side of GPX. That tanky Ray is not the option to just push away the members of GPX because the damage coming in for CJ 1, 2, 3, 4 is not gonna cut it for kill down Ray. They need CY to just chunk down a lot more damage. But GPX, they had the upper hand right now, even though they had not much of a skill, but this team fight would secure the deal.
Oh, they're buying time with the wall barriers here. CY is about 10 seconds before they come online. GPX, they have to risk it right now. Looks like they are going to try Daiso. He gets isolated by Ray, but the minions are coming in. He's clumping on the crystal. They're going full defense. The Real Militia are trying to do their best, but it's too much damage. GPX, they can focus it on, but no, they get completely stunned. They focus on the crystal. It's an all-out brawl, and eventually GPX has the numbers, has the damage, and they'll take the crystal away from MHRLK Esports. What a comeback from the Indonesian squad.
The split push, the damage, the strats coming in for GPX is making a deal for them. I just say that early game MHRLK has all in, but when GPX said, oh, we're waiting for that Lancelot to be a little bit tanky and we have the damage for the Cloud and we are making the game, even though GPX a little bit too late for the power spike. nearly lost their first match, but they take